Hey everybody, it's your girl Nail. Welcome to Simply Nail's Tiny Studio. Here in the Tiny Studio, we talk about all things crochet. We talk about all things vintage coach, and you know I love a good vintage coach bag. And we talk about natural hair care and maintenance. Dreadlock love, baby. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. But this year at the Tiny Studio, we're also doing other things. Yes, we are. We have a book club. Yes, we do. And in the book club, we're discussing two books right now. We're discussing Spare by Prince Harry, and we're discussing Becoming Free Indeed by Ginger Duggar Vuolo. And I probably jacked up her last name. Please forgive me, Ginger. But we're talking about those two, or reading those two books right now in here in the Tiny Studio. So you might want to check that out as well. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so. And I want to thank everyone that has subscribed to Simply Nails Tiny Studio. Thank you so much. You are appreciated. Today in the Tiny Studio, excuse me, we're going to be crocheting and talking about breaking news. Robyn Dixon fired from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Is that true? We're going to be talking about those dango Beyonce concert ticket prices as well. So if you want to get into all of that with me today, grab your work and come on back. Grab your knitting, your crochet, your embroidery, your Tunisian crochet, whatever it is that you're crafting right now. Go ahead and get it, and we will get it. We will start talking and discussing Robyn Dixon. Did she really get fired from the Real Housewives of Potomac? Let's talk about it. But first of all, go and grab your work. I'll wait. So today I am working on one of my Granny Afghan pieces. This is a Granny square Afghan. It's, it's a Lapghan that's kind of large. And I'm guessing that when I complete it, I will give you the exact measurements of this Lapghan. I have designated the month of February as the month that I am going to complete projects that are this close to being done. So I am designated February as the month to do so. It's Black History Month as well, so there are going to be a lot of cool programs that I'm going to be checking out on television, on PBS, on Turner Classic Movies, on Prime Video, on Netflix, and I'm going to have a great time crocheting and celebrating Black History Month. Yay! So that's what I plan on doing, is getting those projects done, and once they're done, they will be for sale, and you will be able to find them on my Instagram page at Blue Lotus Hill Designs or Nails Tiny Studio. Get excited. So that's what I'm working on today. I'm working on this um, Granny Afghan, which is also a stash buster Granny Afghan, because each of the colors in this Afghan are colors or are it's made this Afghan. Let me get my tongue correct. This Afghan is made from different yarns that were left over from previous projects. So this is a stash buster or busting Afghan, Granny Square Lapghan. And I think that I've talked about this before when it comes to this particular Afghan. This particular Afghan is special to me because the leftover yarn, the blue that you see, the blue here and this blue right here, this leftover yarn was came from my a king size Afghan that I made for my grandmother, which was one of the first projects I ever worked on to completion. Well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I made two Afghans, mini Afghans for my daughters, and then I worked on my grandmother's Afghan. That took me like a year to complete. My grandmother's Afghan, it took me a year to complete. If I find the pictures of that Afghan, I will post them on the community tab or the community page of this YouTube channel. But that's what makes this granny Lapghan so special, is because those colors of blue, those were our the yarn, the leftover yarn from the project I made for my grandmother. And she just absolutely loves that Afghan. It sits in her den proudly, or her blue room proudly. And I was just so, so happy to do it. And I think one of the reasons why I was just, it mean or it meant so much to me to crochet that blanket for my grandmother is because I was going through a major health crisis at the time. And the only thing that I could think of to keep my mind off of the seriousness of the situation that I was going through was crocheting. Crocheting really, really helps when you are going through depression, anxiety, um, health crises. Crochet really helps you to lose that anxiety, to mellow out, become calm. Um, it just takes you to a different place. And so, to anyone that's going through a depression, you know, to anyone that's going through a health crisis, if you're able to crochet, if you're able to knit, if you're able to, and if you don't know how to do those things and you want to begin to learn to crochet or learn to knit or learn to embroidery, learn how to create embroidery, um, go ahead and do so. And when you learn how to do those things, it really brings a calmness to your world. It brings, for me, it soothes my anxiety about my health crisis. It took my mind off of uh, what was going on with me medically, and it put my mind to something else. In creating my grandmother's blanket, and then I went on to create another beautiful Afghan for my mom. Just being involved in those things, is something about the yarn, it's something about the colors that have a really, really healing effect on your continents. So, as I said before, I'm designating the month of February as the month where I'm going to get these projects done. They're sitting in these white bags that I have to preserve them and protect them. And I'm just going to get these projects out of here. But I will not be working round the clock non-stop on these projects either, because we all remember what happened to me the last time. And the last time I suffered from tennis elbow or knitter's elbow. And when I tried, that pain was ridiculous. That pain was ridiculous. So I'm not trying to do that. I'm just, in between of working on the crochet, I am also creating and designing jewelry as well. Um, these earrings that I have on right now, these wooden earrings, these are some earrings that I um, designed and made earlier today. And in another video, you will see me in another pair of earrings that I created yesterday. So that is my goal. My goal is to stay busy, stay active, and to continue to add more and more items to my online boutique. So, how are you doing? I hope that you're having a great, great day. And let's get down to talking about what we came here for. We came here for the gossip, right? Well, I got some gossip and some tea for you. I just read on Mediatakeout.com that Robyn Dixon of the Real Housewives of Potomac has been fired from her job as a cast member of that show. Can you believe that? Yes, I can. Media Takeout is reporting that last night, after the end of the taping of Watch What Happens Live, Andy Cohen fired Robyn Dixon from that show. Do you believe that? You think that's true or not? I don't know what to believe, but I do believe that as the reporting reporting said, that that particular episode of Watch What Happens Live had to be full of fireworks. And let me tell you why. Why? It's because Robyn Dixon had been hiding the fact that her husband had allegedly been cheating on her and that they had been so-called working on their relationship. She had been hiding that from the cameras. Then she had the audacity to go on her own podcast, the podcast that she has with castmate and bestie Giselle. I can't think of Giselle's last name, but on that podcast, she admitted that there was something going on that wasn't right in her relationship with Juan, her husband, or well, her now husband. And she told listeners that if they wanted to get more tea about what went down with Juan, the other woman, and how they so-called dealt with that situation, Robyn had the audacity to tell us to go over on Patreon and pay for that little tea. Can you believe that mess? Why are we paying for tea about your life, Robyn? Isn't that what NBC Universal does, is pay for your tea? Doesn't NBC Universal pay for your tea or pay for you to pour us the tea so that we can watch every week? That is your job. Your job, Robyn Dixon, was to spill the tea. Not spill the tea for pay, not have us pay for you spilling the tea, but Bravo was paying for you to spill the tea. Now you tell us that if we want a sip of your tea, we got to pay for it over at Patreon. See, now I can understand why Media Takeout reported that last night's taping with Andy Cohen and Robyn Dixon, that it was contentious. I bet, because that's messed up. That's messed up. It's ridiculous. Who does that? Who who stars on a reality TV show, hides all of the goodies from the public, and then tells the public after the season has ended that if they want some more tea, or if they want tea at all, they need to pay $5 over at their Patreon page. And I wonder how many people actually pay for that tea. I don't know. All I know is that if it's true that Robyn Dixon was fired, she deserved it. And I want to let you in on why. And this is the main problem that I have with reality TV, and the reason why I told you last week that I just don't feel comfortable reviewing reality TV shows anymore. I don't feel comfortable reviewing Married to Medicine or Love and Marriage Huntsville or any of the Real Housewives franchises. And this is the reason why. I believe none of this stuff is real. All of it is fake. It's made up, scripted. And I think that it's time for reality TV to take a back seat. I really do, because it's not real anymore. It's all fake. I remember when reality TV first started, that mess was real. You had the first reality TV show I ever watched was The Real World, and it was the season, the first season, and that season had I want to say Heather B. Was it Heather B? I think Heather B and Tammy Roman on it. And I think Kevin Powell was there too. That's it. That was the first season of The Real World. I love I love that show. Love Real World. That was my first foray into reality TV. And then when Real World kicked off, then you had all these other reality TV shows that started. You had like Survivor, The Last Race, The Bachelor, The Surreal Life. Then you go into what? The Flavor of Love. Um, I could go on and on. Then you had the Real Housewives franchises. You had all of that going on. Soon, reality TV became the soap opera to watch. And that is what caused the end of soap operas like All My Children with Erica Kane, One Life to Live with Vicki Lord Buchanan. That's why soap operas right now, what's on TV right now as far as soap operas? Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, um, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. That's it. So from a time period where each network had about 3 or 4 soap operas, we've gone down to what? Each network having 1 or 2 soap operas. That's it. You know? And the reason why is because people started leaving soap opera land. Because if I have a show where I'm featuring real people that I'm investing real time in every week, just like a soap opera, why don't I leave this fantasy stuff over there and I just get over here and I watch some real stuff? I watch a real life soap opera. You remember how people used to say that my life is a real life soap opera? Well, I used to say that, and it was. But that's how reality TV just really popped up the way that it did. It became so popular because we were all invested in what we thought was reality, people's lives. We didn't mind tuning in each week to Real World. We didn't mind tuning in each week to what? Surreal Life. We didn't mind tuning in each week to what? 14 kids and counting. 17 kids and counting, 19 kids and counting. We enjoyed it. The little couple, little people, big world, Little Women LA, Little Women Atlanta, Little Women New York. We enjoyed watching reality TV because it was based in reality. But then as reality TV began to mature and business began to boom, and I cannot forget the mother of all reality TV shows, which is Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and the spin-offs that they had from their show. It proved that we were invested in these people's lives, and we wanted to know. We wanted to know what happens next, right? And that's how reality TV made its bones and turn a lot of reality TV stars into millionaires and billionaires. So now that money is really a huge factor in reality TV, and now reality TV execs know, and the talent knows that we're invested every week. So now it's like they pulled this wool over our faces. They said, well, you know what? We got the audience. So all we really need to do is provide the content. And it doesn't matter how legitimate or illegitimate the content is, excuse me, because the people are still going to watch, right? And that's why a lot of these reality TV shows today are not really based in reality. They're just content. They're just they just throw things at the reality TV viewer, hoping that it'll stick to the wall and that we'll eat it up and that we will buy it, and then they get to move on. They get to continue to get another check for next season, and the ball continues. But guess what? People today are not we're not ignorant anymore. We're not naive about how all this works. We understand now that reality TV has become like a soap opera, like soap operas of old. The only difference is Erica Kane is not Erica Kane. Erica Kane is Giselle on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay? Now we understand that the real soap opera today is reality TV, because all of it primarily is based in what? Fiction. It's scripted TV with a reality TV label. And see, that's the thing. When we found out, when it was revealed a few days ago that Robyn, this thing that she had going on with her marriage, her relationship, whatever you want to call it, when the rumors started to appear that Wine was having an affair or had an affair, which was brought up on the show, but we come to find out when she admitted it that this affair had begun way back when the pandemic first began in 2020. And if you remember those episodes with Robyn on Real Housewives of Potomac, right around during the pandemic, Robyn was saying that she was depressed. She couldn't get up out of bed. She wasn't eating. And she threw all of that depression and all of that stuff, she blamed what? She blamed the pandemic. But in reality, that wasn't it at all. In reality, it was her failing relationship with Wine that was causing her to be stressed out and depressed. While Robyn and Giselle sat back and cooked up an entire storyline based on the fact that that Eddie Acefo was cheating on Wendy, and that the reason Wendy went and got a boob job, the reason she did that was because she was trying to keep her husband, while Robyn and Giselle were throwing all of this deflection over onto Wendy. The real person that was feeling insecure in their relationship was Robyn. That was the real person. But instead of me telling my own story, instead of me producing or showing viewers my own reality, I decide, as Robyn, that I'm going to make something up and throw it over here at Wendy and besmirch her name and besmirch her husband's good name. That's what Robyn did. While all that time, because I'm trying to remember, it was some stuff going on with Michael too. While everyone was on Michael Darby's case about stuff going down in 2020, 2021, Robyn, Giselle, while they were sitting there pointing fingers over at Michael Darby, Wine was out there doing some stuff. That's why Michael Darby has said that he didn't believe that Wine was going to marry Robyn, because he said he knew some things. And when Michael said that, guess what? We all believed him. But we just didn't have any proof. So here we come. Here we go. We're at the end of this ridiculous season. And I have to tell you, the season was ridiculous. We're at the end of this ridiculous season. The ladies filmed their reunion and everything. And all of a sudden, Robyn comes out and say, yes, there was something happening in my relationship, and it's the reason why we didn't get married when everyone thought we were going to get married. It's the reason why our wedding was on hold. It's also the reason why we decided not to have a big wedding. We just decided to basically, go somewhere and get married and call it a day. All of those things was going on and happening, and Robyn kept it to herself. And then she tells us, look, if you want to know, if you want the assorted details of the story, then you need to pay some money to over on Patreon, and then you'll get the full tea. That's what she said. Over on the Reasonably Shady's Patreon. You go over there and pay for it, and then you'll get the full scoop on what's going on. Why are we paying you, Robyn, to tell us what the deal was? Isn't that what NBC Universal is doing? Isn't NBC Universal paying you to give us the tea? But we got to pay you money to give us the tea. You're crazy. So when Media Takeout said that there was some tension going on at the Watch What Happens live taping last night, I believe it, because if anything, if I was Andy Cohen, I would be pissed. So you set this up for, 2 seasons, 2 reunions, where you knew exactly what was going on in your life and you told us nothing. But you stirred the pot and created all kinds of ridiculousness to throw the scent of whatever it was going on in your life, to throw off the scent. You go over here and you stir up some trouble with Wendy and her husband. And then you try to also stir up some more drama with Karen and her husband. So you're like, oh, look at this phone. Look, there's Karen and there's old Blue Eyes. Look, Karen's over there cheating. Really? Really, Robyn? Really? And see, this is the reason why I started weaning myself off of reality TV. Because it's not real. Because they have become disingenuous. Because reality TV has become jaded. They've become jaded. It's like, they're like, you're going to watch us anyway. So, you know, I guess they think that our IQ is in the toilet. And so they feel they can do and say and shove different things our way, and then we're just going to eat it up blindly and not care. And I think that's wrong. I really do think that's wrong. I really, really do. And if you recall last season, was it last season when when Giselle and Robyn got up in Wendy's face and was talking all that stuff about how Eddie was cheating and all of this, all the rumors, all of this. And Wendy had to get them off her back. She really did. She had to get them off her back. And she went in on Giselle and she went in on Robyn. And Robyn was like, oh, snap. Why you going in on me? Why you calling my relationship fake? Why you calling my relationship this and that and the other? And you remember Robyn was mad about it. And now we know why. It was true. There wasn't anything that Wendy was saying that wasn't true. Or there wasn't anything that Wendy had said about Robyn's relationship that Robyn had not started to think her own self. And that's why she don't like Wendy. That's why. Sometimes when people hold up a mirror in your face and show you or force you to see yourself as you are, some people get resentful. Some people don't like that. Some people feel like, how dare you? How dare you? But while you get to spew lies on me, the truth always seems to come out. Had Robyn allowed this truth to play out on the show, people wouldn't have been calling for her to be fired for the past 4 seasons. Had the truth came out on the show, maybe people would have had a greater respect for Robyn. But at this point, I'm thinking that many of the viewers of The Real Housewives of Potomac or The Real Housewives of anything, because usually people who watch The Real Housewives of Potomac watch 2 or 3 of the other franchises as well. And I'm guessing that everyone is very disenchanted with the Housewives franchise because this is like it puts a bad light on it. It puts a bad light on all the franchises because now it has been proven that when you're watching reality TV, you're watching a scripted show. What did Carlos King say? He said that the girls got together before the season started and came up with who are we going to talk about this year? Well, Robyn, it ain't going to be about me. So we got to throw this on somebody else. Giselle came up with somebody. Oh, guess what? Chris made me feel funny. And I'm trying to remember what other show did they have a conversation where they were going to throw somebody up under the bus. I'm thinking it was Real Housewives of Atlanta. No, 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 no. It was Real Housewives of Potomac again because I believe they all had a conversation again. I think it was Potomac. They had a meeting where they came up with who they were going to talk about. I think Monique Samuels told us that in one of the reunions, that they had a meeting about who they were going to talk about and throw up under the bus. And I think it was Wendy that time. I'm not sure. Correct me if I am wrong. But yeah, get together. And I think, I'm trying to remember, it was another cast that did the same thing. We're going to have a conversation about who we're going to talk about, who we're going to throw under the bus this season, so that we don't have to talk about our own reality. So we don't have to talk about our own life. So our own dirt will not be in the spotlight. So our own issues won't be in the spotlight. Well, wait a minute. That's what you signed up for. That's what reality TV is really all about. It's about all your dirt and your issues being brought to the front, being put in front of the camera. Isn't that what it's for? Isn't that what you signed up for? You're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm confused. But that is one of the reasons why I stopped reviewing reality TV shows on my channel, because they're not really reality TV shows. And they've just broken down into crap. Now we're throwing wine and in water in people's faces. Love and hip hop. Love and hip hop was notorious for that. I expect somebody to get some wine or some water, or some tea or whatever thrown in their face when I'm watching Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, I expect that. I don't necessarily expect that from my Real Housewives franchise. And that's what's happening. The Real Housewives franchises are just, disintegrating into madness. Pure madness, and I don't want to be a participant in it anymore. I don't feel like I need to do that because it is bad upon my spirit. It's bad for my countenance. if I want to stay positive and stay lifted, I can't be watching the Real Housewives of any place. I just can't. Then you have Nene Leakes walking around talking about that the Real Housewives franchises are now starless. She's another one. She's ridiculous too. She's really ridiculous too. Nene Leakes found fame and success through the Real Housewives franchise. Okay? She found success being an idiot on TV. And then she has the audacity to get on the radio and say that the Real Housewives of any franchise are starless now because of all of the principals are gone. Like she's gone, Vicky from Real Housewives of Orange County is gone, but Tamara is back. Just because she's not on the franchise of the Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore, oh, so now, the show is starless, except for Candy. She's another one. Got on reality TV and show her ass and became famous. Now she wants to let you know that she has a measuring stick to be able to tell us who is a star and who's not. But that is reality TV as we know it today. And that's why I said I don't like reviewing those shows anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth watching. It's not worth getting upset over because they just playing us. We getting played. And that's the truth. We're getting played. But enough about that. How about these Beyonce tickets though? Oh my God. I was looking at the ticket prices. Uh, when excuse me, Beyonce is supposed to be coming to Tampa in I think it's August. Let me tell you about the ticket prices. The tickets start at around 2 grand, 2.5 grand, and they go up to 12,700 and blah blah dollars. Let me tell you something. $2,000 for one ticket, $2,000 for two tickets. I'm not paying a mortgage and a half to see Beyonce get on stage for 2.5 hours. It's not like Beyonce gets to come home with you. Beyonce gets to have dinner with you. Beyonce calls you on the phone and say, "What's up? How you enjoyed the concert?" It's not like any of that. She gets on stage, performs the show for 2.5 hours, and you're out of 2,000. I think it was $2,500 something dollars. That's ridiculous. That's really effed up. Why these music stars believe music stars like Beyonce, who is already, whose husband is a billionaire, by the way, why would you get out here and charge people, the people who love you, charge them 3 months rent to come and see you? Especially here in Tampa, where people are losing their homes because they're being priced out of their apartments, being priced out of their homes. Why would you come to Tampa and charge these people $2,000+ to come and see you sing and dance for 2.5 hours? Because you the queen bee? Because you can? Because you have more Grammys than anybody in Grammy history? Because you're all that in a bag of chips? That's screwed up. There are going to be some people who are going to run out here to get these tickets, and they're not going to have a place to stay. And being that these tickets are going fast, people in the beehive are going to have to make a decision. Am I going to pay rent and eat this month? And then be homeless next month until I can figure out a way to save some money so I can get into another place the month after next. Because it's tough down here in Tampa. It's rough. And anybody who tells you that it's not, they lying to you. They lying to you. All these kids and young people who are in college who love them some Beyonce, they're gonna have to do what to come up with $2,000 and some dollars. And yes, you're absolutely correct in your assessment. Beyonce's concert is getting ready to be sold out. Because whenever she comes, the arena is sold, the stadium is sold out. But why would you put such a monetary hardship on your fans like that? Monetary hardship on them. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? What is wrong with charging what 80, 100, $150? What is wrong with charging your fans that? Charge them $150, $200 for a ticket. Charge them that much so they can come to your concert. So that they can come to your concert and then go home and have a place to stay, to lay their head. So then when they go home, they'll be able to pay their bills, pay their light bill, pay their little water bill, pay their gas, pay for their gas, pay for their Uber, so they'll have money left over. $2,000 and some dollars for a concert? That's ridiculous. I wish I would pay that. Okay, I wish I would pay that. That's ridiculous. And let's say I do have the money. Let's say I can very well afford to get 2 tickets at $2,700 some dollars, which would be almost $5,000 for a ticket for me and my hubby to go. I can afford that. But where's my freaking head at? How am I thinking? I'm going to spend $5,000 on a concert to see somebody sing and dance for 2.5 hours when I could have took that $5,000 and I could have done other things with it, like save for a vacation, like getting in a couple of airlines tickets to go and see our families in Detroit this summer. I could have used that money to be able to help pay the tuition for my daughter's for my daughter's college, for her semester in school and whatever incidental she may need. $5,000, I have it, but I don't have it for her. How about that? See, to me, that's robbery. That's robbery. You robbing your fans, Beyonce. You're robbing your fans. If you want your fans to come and have a good time, charge them at a rate that they can be able to afford. Because you got money. Didn't you just come from Dubai? Didn't reports say that you made an estimated $24 to $25 million performing over there? Probably plus more. You probably took some of the purse from the concert goers. You probably took a portion of that purse too. So you made some money. You made some money. But then you're gonna sit here and you're gonna charge these kids $2, $3, $4,000 to come and see you? I'll be your monkey's uncle before I do some mess like that. I would rather watch Beyonce on Netflix for $15.99. I would rather do that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. If she films this concert, which she probably will, and she puts it over on Disney or she put it over on Netflix, I'll gladly spend $15.99 to watch that. But I will not, I refuse to pay two, almost $3,000 to see that woman sing and dance. That's ridiculous. I don't care. Let me tell you, if it was Michael Jackson, and y'all know I love me some Michael Jackson, but if Michael Jackson ever formed his mouth to say, you're going to have to spend $2,000, $3,000 to come see me, I'd be like, screw you, Mike. Take the middle finger, Mike. I'll just listen to you on over here on Spotify. I'll just put your records on the turntable and listen to that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And Beyonce fans, they need to come out and say it. They need to come out and say those ticket prices is ridiculous. If you guys stand together and let Beyonce and let her promoters know that you're not trying to spend no $2,000, $3,000 on some tickets for a concert, if you guys would just step up to the plate and say, hey, we cannot do the Beehive and we ain't got it like that, maybe if you guys would do that, the prices would come down. But you guys feel that you have to accept everything. No, you don't. No, you don't. She survives and thrives off of you, the fan. Do not get it twisted. You don't survive and live off of Beyonce. Beyonce survives and thrives off of you. So you need to put some rules down and let her know that no, we can't pay that. And I see these young people out here talking. Oh, I guess I'm gonna be homeless. But at least I went to see Beyonce. But Beyonce ain't gonna be homeless, is he? Is she? No. Blue Ivy's not gonna be homeless. Homeless, nope. Mm-mm. Those tickets is too much. And the young people down here in Tampa, so many people are homeless, getting priced out of their homes and apartments. It's ridiculous. And she would have the audacity to come down here and charge people 2 months, 2 to 3 months. No, I'm gonna say 2 months rent to come and see her. 2 months rent, a month and a half mortgage. She wants you to come and spend on her. Y'all better not do that. If you're a thinking person, don't do that. Don't do that. As my mother would say, that's like going out the world backwards. Literally going out the world backwards. Y'all better do what I'm gonna do. When y'all find out this Renaissance concert is gonna be on Disney or on Netflix, you just better get your $20 ready and watch it on that. Don't be dumb and go see Beyonce for 2.5 hours and then come home and the next day you got an eviction notice on your door. Or your car is being towed away for non-payment because you decided you was going to take your car payment, your car note, and your insurance, and you was going to give it to Beyonce. Don't do that. Don't be a all-day sucker. All right, so that's about it. I'm still working on my granny Lapghan, and I'm getting ready to put a pause on this Lapghan because I do not want to develop tennis elbow again. I'm going to put a pause in that, put a pin in it, and I'm going to drink some tea, and I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to relax, and I'm going to spend some time with the hubby, who is doing a little better, by the way. A little better, by the way. So I'm going to spend some time with him. But I want to thank you for spending time with me here in the tiny studio. And if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to Simply Nails Tiny Studio, please go ahead and do so now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I really, really appreciate it. And listen, I'm not scared of those bees. I'm not scared of the beehive. See, when you have truth on your side, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be scared. You live out in the open. You're real. Okay? Robyn Dixon, this is what real is all about. Speaking your truth and not being afraid. Because when you speak your truth, what do you have to fear? Because I'm living in the light. I'm living in the light, child. I don't have nothing to fear because I'm telling the truth. And when you walking in the truth and you walking in the light, you don't have to worry about certain things, right? Yeah. Ask Robyn Dixon. She know all about what it's like to not live in the truth. So please also remember that everything in this conversation that we're talking about as far as the Real Housewives of Potomac and Robyn Dixon and her situation, it's all alleged. I don't know these people. This is just commentary, and gossip. So I will see you next time here in the Tiny Studio. Okay? Bye bye.